people don't know how to drive a team of horses. It's training the sheep, and it's also training how to handle the lines and everything. When I turn a corner, I have to pull part of the lines in, let some of them out, and it just takes experience, like a lot of other things.
My guests have been Ed and Marilyn Etzler of Van Wert County. Hope you'll stay tuned after the break. Ed will be visiting with a Russian farmer.
National Convention of Farm Broadcasters in Kansas City, Sam Blasenko, a private farmer, his farm about 300 miles south of Moscow. And this private land was homesteaded to you said a couple of years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago, Russian government make a reform, and they say, who gonna want to farm, and they can give for me land.
And your brothers did that. How many acres, Sam?
They give for myself 300 acres and for my brothers.
You had a chance to come over and visit a number of farms in the U.S., even a stop in Michigan.
Yes, we've been by Lansing City and the farm Bill Friesen, dairy farm.
What has impressed you the most about America's agriculture?
Very impressed for me. It's very open people and very good connect university with farmers, and information go back and forth, and people share information.
Have you found that American farmers and families work harder perhaps than those in Russia?
I was very wonder how American farmer, they work very, very hard, and they work so hard. It's my opinion.
Sam, you shared earlier that you've been impressed with the amount of equipment that American farmers have to use?
Yes, I was impressed because I saw in the city lots of dealers, but in farm I saw not new equipment, but they use this equipment several years, more than 20.
So you were impressed with how we maintain our equipment?
Yeah, I was impressed how American farmers take care of equipment.
You've been impressed with the marketing system in the U.S.?
Yeah, yesterday I have been in Board of Trade in Kansas City. I was so impressed how American farmers have everyday price for they can buy or sell beans or corn every day.
What do you like the most about the U.S.?
Most what I like it's people, very open and very friendly people, and they try to help us.
Do you think the private enterprise system is going to make it in Russia and throughout the CIS?
I think so.
This farm, we're in the northwest tip of Greene County, about a half a mile from the city limits of Fairborn, and we're with Tom Pitstick, popular guy with pork producers across the state of Ohio, first vice president of the Ohio Pork Producers Council. Let's talk about the farm. How many sows here?
Roughly 400.
And Dad, Paul Pitstick, had hogs here as long as you can remember.
He sure had, yeah.
So, as we go in and look at the sows and the little pigs, good-looking pigs, how many live pigs on the average here at the farm?
We're weaning between 9.2 and 9.3.
Weaning 9.2, 9.3 live pigs at birth would be what?
A little over 10, about 10 and a half.
We've done some shows, looked at various types of flooring in the farrowing crates. You're at the woven wire. I see no coating. You like it or not?
Yeah, we've gotten along real well with it. As we've replaced wire, we've gone with a heavier gauge of wire, and that seems to not only hold up a little longer, but it's a little easier on the sows.
Your herdsman was in there. Furman was there. Green, I believe it is. Weigh in some pigs. What are you guys doing?
Well, we're looking at 21-day weights to get an idea of how much milk that sow's producing. And it all goes into a formula to give us a breeding value for the sows, so we could rank them and determine which are our best sows.
And talking about those sows and looking at numbers, the Country Mark Feed Division folks also doing some testing on your sows here.
Yeah, we're working with them on a study right now to look at feed consumption in the sows and the back fat of the sows as they came into the farrowing house and also taking into consideration the 21-day weights to get an idea if we're getting enough feed into the sow, how much she's milking down while she's lactating, and then how effective that all is in terms of the number of pigs and the weight of the pigs.
How most places we find the fellows that we've been over the years, whether we're Indiana, Ohio, or Michigan, weaning at 3 weeks, you wean at 4. I'm curious why.
Well, a couple reasons. One, our nursery facilities are not the latest technology, and we find we just have better luck if we get the pigs a little bit older before we wean them. Our future plans are to replace those nursery facilities, and when we do, then we'll drop to a 3-week.
Jeff Smith, another one of your employees, was in the nursery. How long will the pigs remain there?
Approximately 6 weeks.
And then from there to what you call your grower barns?
Correct. Yeah, the way these buildings are set up, they're basically a production line. They move from one pen to another, and each pen's a little bigger.
Each farm that we go to has something a little different, it seems, Tom. Stainless steel feeders. I like the idea. What do you like about them?
Well, as you noticed, the feed delivery was, the pigs had 2 choices. They could eat it off the shelf, or they could knock it off into the pan and mix water with it. The water nipple was right there over the trough, and so they had their choice.
So do you think there's better feed intake, more feed going into the pig, or is there something else?
Well, there's that possibility. We haven't really studied it to know, but the things that we like about it is there's less feed wastage, and also there's less water wastage. Any water that they do waste drops into the pan and doesn't end up in the pit, hopefully.
Something else here. A pneumatic or air-driven feed system. We start at the feed mill. I see this little 2 1/4-inch line coming out of there. Underground. Where from there?
Well, from there, then it goes to the holding bin at each barn, and from there into the feeder directly.
And a system that you said has proven out over a number of years.
Yeah, we've used it for probably close to 15 years, and it's been extremely successful.
And we have a shot where the sows and the pigs are coming in to kind of a feed box.
Right. In the farrowing house, we don't use a feed cart. We've got individual feed boxes distributed down to the building, and we can walk through the building with a feed scoop and feed them.
But in the nursery, grower finishing barns right into the feeders.
That's right. Self-feeders.
Outside today, it is winter, wind chill around 0. Inside, so very comfortable.
You're right. Farrowing houses are around 70 degrees. The nursery's closer to 80. And the temperature doesn't vary more than 5 degrees in that building day to night, year-round.
So was it any wonder that we saw Furman Green, herdsman, in his short sleeves?
That's right. It's a very comfortable place to work.
Hogs marketed per sow per year? I'm curious.
Between 18 and 19.
Marketing. I always like to ask the producers about the marketing. Many do their own. You did that for a long time, but you're saying the last year or so, you've sought out the services of Producers Livestock Association.
Yeah, for about the last 3 months, we've been working, marketing through producers, and they've done better for us than we were doing on our own.
As we look at 93, and the economists are saying, Tom, maybe 36 to 38 average, could be kind of a tough year. Can you make things meet with the kind of hog market that we're looking at for 93?
If the market is in that range, it's going to be tough. We would probably lose money at the lower end of that.
How do you see the marketplace as a producer?
Well, I think that's going to be a little bit higher than that, but that's just my personal opinion.
And we all have opinions.
That's right.
I hope you're right. It's my opinion. So one of the biggest liquid manure units I have ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty good size. It's a 5,000-gallon tank with knives on the back of it.
So how many acres in this total operation before we run out of time?
1,500 tillable acres.
How many acres of corn did you have?
We had 8 1/4.
Yield?
172 bushels. And
not bad.
That's the best we've ever had.
I was pleased to see natural air drying. Why do you do it? How well has it worked?
2 reasons. One, it's the cheapest way we found to dry corn, and 2, where we're feeding the corn, the quality is far superior to anything that's heat dried.
But you said your corn came off a little drier than for a lot of us across the Midwest.
We were very fortunate. On the total bushels that we harvested, the corn averaged 22 1/2.
So What percent of the corn this year would you put through the natural drying system in those 4 big 18,000 bushel bins?
Probably just a little bit over half of the total corn.
One other question. How many hogs would you market totally off of this farm a year?
Last year it was 6,300.
Port Congress, again. As the chairman, why would you suggest that pork-producing families come to Congress 19th and 20th in downtown Dayton?
Well, it's the biggest, by far the biggest trade show of its type in this area. If you want to see something about hogs or about equipment, it's going to be there. I'd sure encourage anyone that's interested in hogs to come have a look.
Tom Pitstick, great to be at your farm. We'll see you at Port Congress.
Nice to have you.